Hey, it's Charlie from ACL Survival Club. I've just finished my first week of rehab and today I'm going to be sharing with you all of my recovery secrets. I think these are secrets because they're things that people often haven't heard of and I can't wait to share them with you. Alex will jump on later in the video to give you a physio's perspective of early stage ACL and I'll be showing you exactly what my rehabs look like this week. At the end, I'll be sharing my favourite rehab tip, which is super important in any rehab journey. First up is the GameReady. This is an absolutely excellent piece of kit. It does cold and compression, which really helps with swelling management, and in the early stage rehab, it really helps with pain. It's really easy to set up. You just fill it with water, add ice, plug it in and wrap up. At the moment, I'm using the GameReady a lot. I'm using it post-rehab, overnight, and whenever I've got some downtime, so when I'm reading a book or watching TV. The hack for me is using it on the overnight setting, so I literally sleep in it, which means that I get multiple rounds of cold and compression and I don't even have to think about it. So as you can see here, I'm wrapping. An ice pack would just sit on top of my knee, but this gives me like a 360 circumference with multiple cold and compression settings. I've hired mine for 5 weeks, which is so handy to have at home. And once I'm back into regular rehabbing at the club, I'll have access to one there as well, and I will be using after every rehab session. This is me after using the GameReady. As you can see, I've got this really cool snake print over my bruising. In the GameReady, I've been pretty grumpy today actually because I'm feeling frustrated. I think it's a lack of endorphins. I'm used to being able to kind of push myself pretty hard in the gym and used to getting a lot of exercise. Like, it's literally my full-time thing is to exercise, so not being able to do that has left me feeling a bit rudderless. Just remember that I need to be in the moment if I can and holding on to slow is smooth and smooth is fast. This is a Compex. It's a piece of equipment that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love it because it has kept my quad size, but if you've used one you'll know that it feels pretty uncomfortable. So I've got the Compex 3.0. I've been told the 3.0 or the 4.0 is the best to have. It has like a muscle atrophy setting. So you get the Compex, which looks like an old school video game machine. I don't actually know the word for that. You have your wires. So I'm going to be using 2 wires today, and at the end of each wire are these 2 connectors. These 2 connectors connect to pads, which I'm going to stick on my skin now and set up. So I use a Compex pretty much through the entire rehab. Last time we were using it regularly up until about 6 months, and then after the 6-month mark we still used it for specific things. It's really good because it basically tells your muscle to switch on, which is a lot of people experience quad switch off in early ACL rehab. I definitely have experienced that. So this will just help it turn on. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So positioning my pads all along my quad, really focusing on that VMO area. And now just got to connect the wires. So let's go for, so that's the blue one. And you just connect these metal bits to these kind of push pin things on the pads. You want to make sure the pads are really nice and stuck down, otherwise it doesn't work properly. So let's go for the second one, and you'll see what I mean in a minute when I say it's like the worst video game ever. So just turning it on, going to rehabilitation and the muscle atrophy setting. When it's on this grey dotted bar, it's a pulsing contraction, so you can kind of see my leg moving a little bit here, and when it hits the black bar, it's a solid contraction, which I think is for about 5 seconds. My tolerance is probably about 50. Just finished rehab and now going to pop my tubey grip back on. Before I was injured, I thought that ice was really important, but I didn't realise how important compression is, so it's used in most swelling management. And this is a tubey grip, so it basically looks like a bandage. It's folded twice over, so I'm going to pop the frayed edge up, pull this all the way up my leg, and basically I want to get as much compression time as possible throughout the day, so most of the time that I'm awake I will be wearing this.
This is all just feel-good treatments to try and make the hamstring feel a little bit nicer, but if I only had 30 minutes with Charlie once a week, I wouldn't be doing any of this.
I think I'm on-call physio 24 hours a day.
Yeah, this is more boyfriend than physio.
We made it to day 5 post-surgery. I'm about to go to bed. I've got my leg elevated and in the GameReady I'm going to try and sleep with it elevated. I've not been great at that. I've been kind of kicking away the pillows with my good leg in the night. Not my good leg, neither of my legs good or bad, with my uninjured leg in the night. Feeling really good. I feel like my energy is starting to come back. I am sleeping a lot, so I'm going to get some more sleeping done and excited to attack into some rehab tomorrow. So good night.
G'day guys, Alex from ACL Survival Club. As Charlie has spoken about at the beginning of this video, recovery is really important. And what's important is we get rid of the swelling in the knee and we get the knee straight and then we start to switch those quads on. So it's really important that we get what we call a dry knee, which is that there's no swelling in the knee. It looks like the other side. This is going to allow you to work on that knee extension, which is when we do passive knee extensions and active knee extensions as an exercise to try and restore the range of motion and get the legs straight. And then we work on doing exercises like quad sets where we switch on the quad to work on that VMO, to work on that inside quad muscle, which will therefore allow us to maintain that position, which is really important for everything that the knee is required to do, from walking to sprinting to jumping. We started to pair that with the Compex for quad sets. We pop the pads on and we're really ramping the Compex up as high as we can tolerate for a few small sets. With Charlie, we're doing one top set of 10 reps, and she's even maxing out at about 200 on the Compex, which is quite a lot, because we're trying to get the most amount of like voluntary muscle contraction possible to switch that quad on. If that VMO, if that inside quad is working really hard, it's going to restore that knee function, get your knee straight, switch the muscle on, which is then going to have a nice big building block for the rest of your rehab. Now, we've still got to be careful in the early stages that we don't overdo it. So Charlie has 2 sessions a day where she's doing the knee extensions, she's using the Compex, doing her quad sets, but there are areas that we can work on more maximally, which is like our glutes and our ankle and our foot. So she's working on doing her glute exercises like glute bridges, hamstring bridges, clams and side leg raises. And then in her ankle, she's working on her ankle inversion and eversions. And then for her foot, she's working on doing foot exercises like big toe push downs, towel scrunches, and other foot intrinsic exercises. This lays the foundation for what we want to do later down the line in rehab, like running and jumping and squatting. So it's important that we do these exercises early, so we're not having to do it later down the line.
Reflecting on the end of this week, and I'm actually ending the week feeling really positive. My cup is full. When I did my first ACL rehab, I really isolated myself from friends and family. I pretty much didn't leave the house apart from to go to rehab. I was so low. Whereas this time around, because I knew I didn't want to be like that again, I made plans before surgery to see friends. So I had friends come over to my house for a coffee shop. I had a friend come for a sleepover. I had 2 of my best friends who've also had ACL surgery, so they really get it. They came and stayed this weekend, and it's all been like really fun, low-key social stuff, but it's kept me really connected, and I'm feeling so much better than I thought I would, like just over a week post-surgery. So I think the best rehab advice I'd actually give is to pre-plan things into your life for post-surgery that mean that you will stay connected to friends and family. Thanks for watching week 1. I can't wait to see you next week, or I'll be learning to walk again. I encourage anyone going through a rehab to double down on recovery and reconnect with friends and family. See you next week. Keep doing it for the plot.